All right, I think I'm live now. You hear me, Chris? All right, good. Video, audio. It's a good start. We've got a few viewers coming in. Welcome, welcome. We'll just give it a few more minutes to allow folks to join. Thanks for hooking me up with this, Chris. It's always nice when technology cooperates. It's nice to see that nobody's been banned from the stream. I guess everybody's behaving themselves for now. All right, I'm showing 6 o'clock, so why don't we jump in? Like all Facebook Live sessions, I do encourage you all to comment, and I will answer as many questions as I can. Answer questions if I know the answer. Thanks for joining. My name is Michael Goodman. I'm the match director for the Brock's Gap IDPA program and the match director for the 2024 Alabama State Championship. A little bit of history, because this is kind of an interesting match. Many years ago, when dinosaurs roamed the earth, Alabama hosted not one but two sanctioned matches a year at least. And they had the Alabama State Championship, and then there was another match that was hosted at Brock's Gap called the Masters. And so we had a couple of matches, a couple of IDPA sanctioned matches every year. But then about 8 years ago, for reasons that history is unclear on, the matches kind of disappeared. And so I took over as match director. I'm coming up on my second anniversary in April as match director. And I think it was the first match that our first monthly match, we announced that I was taking over. Mike Lunsford, the match director prior to me, had done it for about 10 years and was certainly ready for a break. And his scores have definitely gone up since he's given up the match director role. But he that first meeting, the first safety brief, we announced that I'd be taking over as match director. And I think right after the end of that safety briefing, they said, "Well, hey, how about having a sanction match? We used to do, tier 3, tier 4 matches at Brock's Gap." And of course, I didn't know what I was getting myself into. So I said, "Well, give me a few minutes to get oriented to the job, and let's see what we can do." And then it was actually about 18 months ago that we decided, let's go ahead with that. So I started shooting a lot more sanctioned matches myself, and started asking a lot of questions. I met Ed Mosier, who is the match director in Georgia, and Frank Scalise, the match director in South Carolina. And they have been super helpful, and so we've put a team together and been planning the match ever since. I warned the team that if we like this and want to continue doing this, this is probably the only iteration of that match that we're going to have more than a year to plan it. So we need to take our time and make sure we do it right. So we're pretty excited. We've been thinking about this for a long time. We've been working on it for a long time. Mike is the assistant. He was happy to join as the assistant match director. So we have a lot of the folks that brought you the Masters, that did those matches those years ago. Most of them have moved to the advisory committee, and we're turning a lot of the hands-on roles, stats, and Mr. Fix-It, things like that, to some of the new guard. We're trying to get some new folks in to take on those responsibilities. So we're real excited for the match. It is a tier 3 match. It is 12 stages shot in all the same day. So we'll, like many matches, we'll have the staff match on Friday. We'll have a match on Saturday. We'll have a match on Sunday. It is 12 stages shot on 11 bays. I will mention that we are using our full auto range. Unfortunately, I have not been able to get IDPA headquarters to give us a waiver for that whole semi-auto thing. So although we're using our full auto range, we're going to be limiting competitors to semi-automatic. I guess if you want to bring out single shot, that's fine too. Although we don't have a division for you. So it's we're using a good chunk of our facilities. For those of you that remember the Masters, one of the things that happened that led to the Masters discontinuing was we had to shut down the action pistol bays where we were holding that match. And then we built a new range nearby, but we, until recently, until about a year ago, did not have enough bays to hold it. And so that's, as soon as we got the additional bays built, so we're now up to 10 bays, and then there's a long range right next to it that we're using for chrono and function fire, and then the walk to the FA range is not horrible. So we're using a good chunk of our property. We have plenty of parking. I think we're one of the ranges where it's, at least based on my experience, a little unusual that we actually have hotels within about 10 minutes of the range. We are in downtown Hoover, and so there's I've gotten a few questions about is there a match hotel. And the thing is, there's so many different brands all within about 10 minutes. So, before I retired, I traveled pretty much 100% of the time. And I know that the folks that I traveled with were all very loyal to their brand. So instead of picking one brand as a match hotel, I'm telling people, you can stay at whatever property you want to stay at. It's all very nearby. You come out, you go up the street, you make a left, and you're at the range. So it's kind of a nice arrangement. The stages, we're doing 12 stages on 11 bays, so we will have a warm-up stage. We're not going to have a cool-down stage. We'll let you take care of that yourself. But I think it's going to be fun, and I think we've tried to capture as much of that Masters feel. One of the defining characteristics of the Masters was choices. We tried to create stages where there were, often as many choices for the shooter as possible. Choices, how you can approach the stage, routes you can take through the stage, combinations of targets that you can engage. And so we've looked to do that. We don't have a specific theme for the match, but we've tried to take you to a whole bunch of different places. What I will tell you is, there will be to the extent we can do in a bay, right? We don't have any dark bays, but a little bit of underground work. So you may have some underground work to do. The other thing that's kind of interesting that I'll lay a little tease on is, the Birmingham airport has become a dismantling site for jets. So when you drive into the airport as you're approaching the terminal, there's a huge, I think it's about 1 million square feet of old hangar that dates back decades. And a company has taken that over. They started that right before COVID. During COVID, it was a giant parking lot for storing aircraft. And then after they moved them out, it became a dismantling site. So you see Southwest, their older 737s, and a lot of, when Delta retired their MD-80s, they all ended up in Birmingham, and they're being disassembled. Well, a bunch of us started talking about that, and we said, I wonder what they're doing with all those aircraft parts. And maybe we can get our hands on some that they're not shredding or selling. So we did, and so we've gotten a few parts that we've been able to bring out to the range, and we're going to integrate into at least one of the stages. So lots of choices. I did get the question of, is there RV camping at the range? And there is, as long as you're self-contained and it is an RV or a trailer. We do have out on the range it's porta potties, but we do have a bathhouse with restrooms, and I think they even have showers in them, although I haven't used them. But if you can do self-contained camping, you can send me an email, and we can arrange that for you. We'll find you a reasonably level place to park, and we'll take care of that. So let's see. What do you view as the single most important aspect of customer satisfaction beyond competitor safety? We always, I think shooters may be getting tired of hearing this, but I kind of coined this phrase that, the goals of the Broxgap IDPA program, every match we hold starts with, our three goals, and that is, to be safe, to have fun, and to build skills in that order. So, we use competition as a basis for that. We feel very strongly about building skills. I think the crew that I inherited from Mike that is responsible for setting these things up and building them. Every month we run 3 matches. We call it I call it IDPA. I tell my wife it's IDPA week. I'm busy, and it's my excuse to sneak out and basically spend all week at the range. So Wednesday night. We do we call it a bug match, but in the spirit of inclusivity, we do allow any IDPA division handgun or PCC for that matter to participate. The catch is you're still limited to bug magazine limits and round counts. So we haven't gotten too many PCC shooters, but we get a lot of it's a relatively small match. Smaller squads. We try to stick to 8-person squads. We shoot 5 stages. We limit the number of activated targets, so the resets are real simple. We get through 5 stages in about 2 hours, and it's under the lights. So we do that year round. It's a lot of fun. And then on Friday night, in the winter, we do a blackout match. So instead of turning the lights on, we put red lights in the shooting in the canopies, and then everybody runs the stages with either a handheld or a firearm mounted light. We have had a few people that we've been experimenting with night vision. Another one that IDPA, we gotta talk to headquarters about additional divisions or categories, and obviously only when both the safety officer and the shooter are wearing night vision. So we get everybody up, we take a head count, we make sure everybody's out of the bay, and then we let this happen. And it's a lot of fun. Interesting to hear the shooter move through the stage, and the night vision is truly amazing. So that's Friday, and then Saturday is our regular match. So we run a 6-stage match. It's usually between 50 and 60 people, but it's every match, be safe, have fun, build skills. We try to do get as many new shooters in as we can. We've got a great David Bertanzetti and Kyle Sandlin lead kind of an instructor wing. We do a mini clinic before every match to help shooters that are new to IDPA, and then we do an intro to IDPA, at least a couple times a year, and we typically get 30 or 40 people, and that turns into 6, 8, 10 new shooters. So it's a lot of fun, and we're really looking forward to having the state, adding the state match to that mix. Quickly back to, I think Kyle said, the Hoover Met. One of the reasons that we have so many hotels nearby is the Hoover Met is a large complex. It's a large sporting complex. It plays host to every year the SEC baseball tournament, and there is a huge RV parking facility right next to that. I think pretty much everybody from LSU that goes to that tournament and camps in that RV facility. So that's another option if you're looking to come up. It's less than 10 minutes from the range. So some underground work. Well, obviously we're not going to dig up the stage, but there may be some lots of barrels, pipes involved. You may have to navigate a conduit or two. I don't want to give away too much quite yet. I will tell you that one particular stage that we designed was one of those that we spent a lot of time. Another one of the rules I'm going to keep taking back is the 20-yard shooter movement limit. So we had to very carefully calculate the distances for that, and it came in at a trim 19 yards 2 feet when we did all our stage designs in SketchUp, so everything was to scale, and we were able to calculate the shooter travel distance. That was a tricky one to build. No bus. We've gotten rid of our mail truck. We also had a pickup that we recently sold for the whopping sum of $2. One of the things going on at the range, and for those of you that may be thinking about coming, this, well, it's certainly not the first IDPA Tier 3 match, but it will definitely be the last one at our current location at Brock's Gap. So the property has been sold, and we have purchased a new property probably 20-30 minutes away to the that's a little closer to the racetrack. So it's south of Pell City. We're trading our 80 acres for 877 acres, and we're currently in the process of sketching out what the range is going to look like. And it's interesting to be involved in the process of going from raw land to a fully functioning range. Our plan includes a long range rifle range with going out to about 1,400 yards. We'll have 500, 600, 1,400 yards. But I do sit on the board, and I certainly have been an advocate for more bays, bigger bays, and hopefully the budget will permit. I think we're on track so far, so we should have a significant increase in the number of bays available for us to shoot matches. I see Bill commented about the Belton IDPA Double Trouble. That match is super fun. Frank Scalise is the match director up there. He's one of the folks, like I said, that I've been kind of peppering with questions about how to run a match. I also use that night match as kind of a guideline for how we shoot our night match. It is great fun. They've changed the schedule a little bit for this year. It used to be you shot during the day, then you had dinner, then you shot at night. Last year it went pretty late. Alabama has the Alabama Range Protection Act, where as long as a range is not got people shooting past 9 p.m. You can't shoot before 9 a.m. You can't shoot after 9 p.m. As long as you do that, then we're legally protected from noise complaints and nuisance complaints. So as it was getting to 10, 11, probably midnight at the last Belton, I was thinking, that Range Protection Act has something going for it. There will be lunch. It will be what I think has become the classic IDPA lunch. So you saw those of you that have registered saw the sandwich order option in the registration. And so we'll be getting sandwiches and chips and cookies delivered. We'll have drinks and water. We will have water, ice water at every bay. Another one of the many match director challenges. And I know you're probably thinking about the heat. We've got one of those large, you see them at the gas stations, those big freezers for bagged ice. We have one of those. And in June, the temperature's not too bad, so we could fill that up, so we'll have plenty of ice available. As we get into July or August, I like to take the level of the ice in that freezer down a little bit, because the door's big enough that you can climb in. And I've haven't gotten all the way in, but it's always nice to after setting up the match in the morning when it's 85, 90 degrees out, climb in that freezer a little bit and cool off. So we will have ice, we'll have water, we'll have drinks, we will have lunch will be served on the bays. For those volunteering for staff, you'll get lunch each day. You also get the requisite complimentary jersey. I'm actually just sent out the first batch of or the first notice about that. So our staff are sending in their sizes and name requests. And for the staff also, we've gone back and forth, and I think I've put in my match director foot down and saying, we got to feed our staff. So in addition to getting lunch, I think after the staff match, I've got one of our staff used to work as a cook, and so we're going to pull him into the mix and get him to cook up some brats and just do a little something casual. But there's no reason, especially with the number of staff we've got coming in from out of town. And, we don't want to just send you back to the hotel and let you find dinner on yourself. So at least Friday night, while we're doing the raffle, we'll have some food to eat. Let's see, I've fallen behind on my, I wish the freezer would be in a course of fire. No prone positions. We're going to do a little bit of kneeling, but, I'm one of those that, gravity works fine when you're working with it. So no prone shooting, but we may do some kneeling. What's your strategy to accommodate revolver and bug shooters? That is a fun challenge, doing stage design, especially since we have a bug match. And I think the bug match gives us a good opportunity to kind of see how that plays out. And what I will tell you is, at the bug match, one of our designers likes moving targets. So when you've got a steel activator and then that activator activates two movers, so you've got 5 rounds committed to the array and you've got 6 rounds in the gun, it really makes you think twice about aiming that first shot. And then after you miss that first shot, it really now you got to really start thinking about strategy. And then if you're a shooter, I've more than once missed the second shot. So now I've committed to 5 for the array, and I've got 4 in the gun. So got to start making choices about attack load or just going for it. But it's an interesting challenge, and arrays can lend themselves to do that. We try to balance the reloads, the reload requirements. It's always fun at the night match if you've only got 6 in the gun. Bug shooters are very aware that you leave a trail of magazines behind you, and then when you're under the lights, you got to go back and pick up the magazines. So I do recommend a little reflective tape for your magazines, especially for our blackout match. If you're going to shoot the Belton match, one best practice is you get a little 1/2-inch reflective tape, wrap that around your mag so it still fits in the gun, obviously, but then when you're walking back and looking for your mags, they're much easier to find. So let's come back to the other sort of elephant in the room, and that is the weather. When I told people we're shooting a major match in Alabama in June, everybody kind of went, "What? Why?" And then, thanks to IDPA, I would say, well, nationals are in Alabama in August. So let's talk through that. So in May, the average temperature in Alabama is about 82 degrees. In June, it gets up to about 87 degrees. By August, you're up to about 90-ish degrees. So it can get hot. So if you want to, warm a literal warm up, and I would encourage this. If you're coming down from the north and you want to do a literal warm up and get a feel for what it's going to take to shoot nationals, and plan your wardrobe and your liquid intake accordingly, I would encourage you to shoot our match. The other opportunity that you get by coming down in June is we're about maybe a half hour from CMP, and so you could shoot our match one day, and then the other day on the weekend you can go over to CMP. One of the big pluses is there is a Buc-ee's between our range and CMP. So if you have not experienced a Buc-ee's and have never seen a gas station with 100 pumps, I would encourage you to stop by. So you can pick up Buc-ee's, head out to CMP. you could take a look at what the layout is there. You can drive down and look at their action bay arrangement. But the other thing, and if you're planning on shooting both matches, I would highly recommend that you do this. CMP is militant about their shooter safety cards. So everybody that shoots at CMP has to, at least once a year, that you have to watch a video. You have to use a tablet to fill in your information, sign your waiver, and then you gotta go to the counter and they will issue you a card. Well, if you wait until nationals, there's going to be a line. It may take a little while if you've got several hundred people showing up to all watch the video. Watching the videos, no problem. They've got a humongous clubhouse and plenty of TVs showing the video. But they have a limited number of tablets that you can use, so you're going to have to wait in line to fill out the tablet. That puts all the data in the system, and then you just go to the counter. So strongly recommend, if you're coming down in June and you do plan on shooting nationals, get that taken care of ahead of time. If you walk in on a non-match day, the whole process takes about 10 minutes. And I've done, that's sort of my standard procedure. I go out there when I'm not shooting. And they're pretty used to that. They're never surprised when they say, well, are you going to shoot today? And I said, no, I'm just here to pick up my range card. So strongly recommend that you do that. Let's talk about, what else can we talk about? Let's talk about the design team. As I said, it's a lot of folks from the Masters have helped us with the designs. We did look at some old Masters matchbooks and tried to take some concepts from there. Mike Lunsford is the assistant match director. Frank Butcher and Robert Moore are going to be doing stats. I just told them how many trophies I ordered, and so I think they're now trying to figure out how they're going to get everything accounted for and get everything scored during the protest period so that we can get all the plaques awarded. In addition to the usual plaques that we have for division and class and category, since this is an Alabama State Championship, we will be offering and will be awarding Alabama State Champion awards as well. And they will not be plaques. They will be something that, if you want to show off a little bit, you don't have to wear the plaque around your neck. It'll be something that you can take with you and take to other matches and share your success. So we will be doing that. Ranges of shots. So this is one of the things where I'm kind of looking forward to the new range. So we have a few bays that are about 100 feet deep. So we will be testing you out to the legally allowed max for some of the shots, and kind of everything in between. So we tried to again provide a big variety. So you're going to have a lot of 10, 15 yarders. You're going to have a bunch of 20 yarders, you don't have to say roll tide. I'm an Auburn fan, so we took care of the roll tide right up front. Interesting side story. When I moved to Birmingham and I was interviewing before I moved to Birmingham, I was interviewing for a job at one of the banks down here many years ago. The first interview question, forget what was your experience, forget anything like that. The first interview question was Auburn or Alabama. And of course it was a group interview with one Auburn alum and one Alabama alum. So talk about setting myself up for a kind of a no-win situation. But we will, to the Auburn fans, we are a Kubota customer. So most of our vehicles are our skid steer and our tractor and our RTVs are all orange. So the Alabama crew is never happy about driving around in one of those. What about staff? We've got a great staff. And thank you all to the folks that have volunteered. We have staff coming in. We have shooters coming in from 16 states. And of that, we've got staff coming in from 8 states. And we've got a good number. We could still use a few more. We really need maybe 3 more CSOs. CSOs down here are a little tricky to find. So if any of you know some CSOs then that might be interested in shooting, they get free lunch to the extent there is a free lunch, and they get a jersey. And Kyle Sandlin, our sponsorship coordinator, has been doing an amazing job. We'll get to the sponsors in a minute, but I gave him the standard mandate. All match directors give their sponsor coordinators, and that is guns, lots and lots of guns. And Kyle has done great. I think our gun count for our giveaway right now is at 16. And he's still working on it. So we're trying to take that number up. So if you volunteer for the match, you've got better, as of today, it's about a 1 in 9 chance of walking away with a gun. And actually it is better because the staff, we re-enter in the raffles on Saturday and Sunday. So every day you work, you get entered in the raffle. So it's actually a much better than 1 in 9 chance of winning a gun. Other sponsors, Gun Prime is our title sponsor. Gun Prime is the online face of Birmingham Pistol Wholesale, and those in Alabama know the. I'll try to hold still and see if we can get the video to smooth out a little bit. Birmingham Pistol is a great dealer. They, Shane is and his crew there run a great operation. They've got a humongous warehouse out back, and they've always been helpful. Every time I go into Birmingham, I typically buy my gun on Gun Prime, and then when I go in, they're such a great operation that I feel like I have to buy more. So we got that going for us. Our platinum sponsors, Taurus, Hunters HD Gold. Taurus is a great name in the business. We're lucky to have them as a sponsor. Hunters HD Gold does so much to help matches. They're always a perennial presence. Dark Star Gear, Facts and Firearms. Just this morning, we got Glock to join on as a gold sponsor. Red Hill Tactical and Hollow Sun are our other gold sponsors. Then we've got Carr and G-Force Arms as our silver, and Stan Chen Customs as a bronze sponsor. So at that level, we've got some great higher level sponsors that are donating a lot of great stuff. We tried to reach out to Elon Musk and see if we could get a Tesla. That didn't work out, but we have got a great set of sponsors. And Gun Prime joined on as the title sponsor when we were still in the. I didn't think you guys did sanctioned IDPA matches in Alabama, so he came on. At a very early in the mix. And quickly for our stage sponsors, we've got all of our stages sponsored. We may have to find more stages because we have more stage sponsors coming in. We've got Boudreaux's Bullets, Shooters Connection, Langdon Tactical, Zero Sports. I can't say enough of. I'm modeling the match jersey. So they do a great job, and they're giving us a great discount both for the shooter jerseys and the staff jerseys. So everybody's getting a discount. It's a great contribution to the sport. If you haven't ordered your jersey, you can go to the I'll be sending out the link again. The link for your jersey is on the practice score registration page. As well as you can go to Zero Sports and order your jersey. So they do a great job. Kick Tide Films is also sponsoring a stage. They do a great job. They do a lot of art. I do a lot for IDPA. Boaz ammunition, 0 bullets, 1791 gun leather, Atlanta Arms, Springer Precision, and Go Fast Don't Suck. I can't say enough about our staff, and I can't say enough about our sponsors. And those go right to our two big, my two big trepidations when we started this planning this match was can we get shooters, can we get staff, and can we get sponsors? And we've gotten all three. I will tell you that things are steadily filling up. I'm getting registrations every day. So if you do, we do have spots on Saturday and Sunday. So I do encourage you to sign up, register. I think it's going to be a fun match, and tell your friends, bring them on down. We talked a little bit about some of the unique props. We are allowing appendix inside the waistband. We are also allowing PCC. Like many, I think many ranges, we have the perennial debate between PCC shooters and pistol shooters. I will warn you that if you're a right-handed PCC shooter, you may have some left edges that you got to shoot around. So we are thoughtful of the of our PCC shooters, but I'm also in the school of shooting from both strong side and weak side are legitimate defensive techniques if you're going to use a PCC as your everyday carry. So you need to be prepared for that. At the match, we talked about the weather a little bit. We talked about the food. We do get, in June we occasionally get thunderstorms. We don't get a ton of rain in June. We occasionally get the afternoon thunderstorm. We are going to try to start the match. Right now it's a scheduled 9:30 start. This is where the challenge is. We run up against the Range Protection Act, but I think we're going to, and we want to make sure we get our steel targets calibrated first thing in the morning. So we're going to try to move things right along. So you should hopefully be done in the relatively early afternoon, so that we can adjourn. We have a covered picnic area, and all the bays except for our Chrono Bay have permanent structures. So if it does, if we do get a shower, you can take cover under the cover. And on the Chrono Bay, we will be having we'll put up some pop-up tents, and we may actually add some tents. Our Steel Challenge crew goes through a lot of pop-up tents, so we tend to have quite a few on hand. We'll see if we can borrow those. And last year I did install fans in almost all of the bays. So we will be pulling out the generators and firing up the fans. So hopefully you can. The funny thing about those fans is we just put them in last year, and of course it's one of those where once you put them in, everybody goes, "Why haven't we done this years before?" But they're in. And they work, and they do actually make a big difference. So we got that. Check in. One thing to know about the Brock's Gap facility is when you enter through the gate and you drive down this road you actually drive through the Brock's Gap to get to the range, and it is an old railroad bed. That I think dates back to just after, I think it was built just after the Civil War, when Birmingham was becoming a big steel producer, and so it was one of the main ways to get into Birmingham. Unfortunately, as roads go, it is a one-lane road. So on Friday, you'll come in through the main gate, and we'll have people directing traffic down that road, and into the parking area. There's plenty of places to pull off. We don't expect a lot of two-way traffic, but the members may be coming and going a little bit, and that's manageable. And then on Saturday and Sunday, when we're expecting more traffic, there is a road that we normally don't use. There's a back gate that we use only for law enforcement and emergency responders, but we don't own the gate. But we've got an arrangement, so we will be opening that. We're planning on opening that gate on Saturday and Sunday. So it will be one-way traffic. You'll come in through one gate, and then you'll be able to go out the back gate. So we're planning on managing traffic that way. Check-in will be at the picnic pavilion, which is right where right next to the parking lot. If we need overflow parking, we've got it's a decommissioned cowboy range. At the same time we took down the range that we shot the Masters at, we also had to decommission the cowboy range. So that's unfortunately available for parking now because the new range is right behind where the cowboy range was. And given the height of the berm on the cowboy range, we decided it's probably not a good idea to continue to use that one. So the board shut that down. So we've got plenty of parking. We talked a little bit, if you do have an RV or a trailer, as long as you're self-contained, you can reach out to me and we can arrange parking. Obviously subject to the range rules, but I don't think that'll be a problem for anyone. And then check-in will be where the awards are. We have good cell service throughout the range, and we've got good Wi-Fi. One of my to-dos is extend the Wi-Fi so that every bay will have Wi-Fi on it, and we will be able to use the logging feature in Practice Score. So assuming everything works the way it is designed, that every time you hit approve on the tablet, you'll get it. We'll start filling up your email box with your scores. So you'll get your specific scores, raw time, points down, penalties, and final score for every stage as you shoot it. So hopefully you won't, for those that like to record their individual stage times as they go, you should have all that available to you online. The other plus of that is it backs those scores. If you're using the Practice Score logging, it saves all those scores to the cloud. And I haven't tested retrieving them, but I'm told that if you have a tablet that craps out, we can recover the scores. So hopefully we won't have any technical difficulties that might result in us having not being able to score a stage. We have they're new to us. We have a new set of tablets. We have AMG timers. So the timers are synced to the tablet. We're on the iOS platform. We even have sunshades. So not only do we have shade for you, but we have shades for the tablets. So we have sunshades available for the tablets. So folks that sometimes struggle, myself included, to read the tablets during the match as you're scoring, you'll be able to use those sunshades if you want. If you want to ship ammo, you can do that. I'd say you can go ahead and reach out to me, and we can arrange to get your ammo shipped. And anything that I don't shoot, I'll bring to the match, and you can use what's left over. The other nice thing about our current location is we do have a gun store that's about 2 minutes away. You'll pass Precision Tactical on the way into the range. So if you have any, I think they've got a great shop there. Hopefully you won't need any minor repairs or fixes or anything, but they do great work. They're a great partner for the range, and when we order our targets, since there's no staff at the range, we usually ship them to PTAC. And so they get 20 or 30 or 40 boxes of targets at a time, and they put up with us and let us, they receive our shipments. So they have ammo, they have optics, they have guns, they have whatever. If you're from Alabama, you can grab a new gun on the way to the match. I will say for those coming in from out of state, first of all, big shout out. I saw the Illinois State Match Director did a Facebook Live, and my heart goes out to our colleagues in states where it makes me love Alabama even more. States like Illinois and California, New York, they have got great shooting communities. And I would encourage everybody, shoot our match first, but then support the Illinois State match. The good news is Alabama recently passed constitutional carry, so we don't have a lot of hoops that you have to jump through when you're transporting your firearm. It's constitutional carry, so we've got that going. And for concealed carry, we have reciprocity with most every state that is reciprocal with us. So again, California, Oregon, not so much. But everybody else, if you're going to be reciprocal with us. And I got to tell you, one other shout out, Jefferson County Sheriff. I recently moved, and so I needed to change the address on my concealed carry permit. And they figured, well, if you're going to change the address, you might as well go ahead and apply again. So I applied for a replacement on Monday. It cost me $3, and fortunately for me, it was approved by Friday, and the permit went in the mail. So again, my heart goes out to a lot of states where you have to jump through a lot of hoops to get permit to buy, permit to carry. That's one of the things where Alabama is standing strong, and in both constitutional carry, but our local law enforcement does a great job. Managing and expediting the concealed carry permit issuance process. So rather than waiting 6 months or 9 months, assuming your record's clean and you pass a background check, you can get it, in about a week. So great things for that. Other questions? What else can I tell you about the match? I think, as I've said, it's going to be a good one. It's a lot of, not a ton of steel, not a ton of activated targets. We've got a few well-placed ones, but we've tried, again, since this was our first match in a lot of years, we tried to, on the one hand, keep it simple, but on the other, there's plenty of challenge in the choices that you make and the shots that are open to you. I will tell you that our Mr. Fix-It is a woodworker. So normally when we're building walls for our monthly matches, we've got kind of a jig that we use and kind of throw them together. So for the state match, I got a CAD drawing showing the specific dimensions of the walls and the specific locations of the windows, the specific size of the window. So we're having to or at least our build team is having to take our game up a level, but he's doing a great job in terms of rigging the cables for the activators, making sure that the targets all fall fairly, that the targets activate consistently, and that we can make sure that as we need to replace targets, we're able to do that consistently. So I am I'm continually grateful for our stage design and build team. I consider us really lucky. We start our build, for our monthly matches for IDPA week. We start the weekend before the match, and we've pretty much got all our bays set up by usually Monday or Tuesday of that week. So I'm not having to come out to the range and find a bunch of empty bays. And then worry if we can get enough people to set up, and we don't have to ask people to come early. Our setup crew does that. They of course they get free entry fees, so all the time they put in is generously rewarded by not having to pay an entry fee. What other questions can I answer for you? Let me scroll back. Did I miss anything? Shipped ammo we talked about. Volunteers. Camping. Jerseys. Love the jerseys. I think that's it. Any other, any other comments? Any other questions? I really do hope that you all join. Tell your friends. Tell your family. We'd love to see. We still have room, and we'd love to see you come out. So I guess with that, I will. I've used enough of your time. Last call for questions. All right. So thank you all. Thanks for joining. I hope this was helpful. I look forward to seeing you all in June as we do the literal warm-up for IDPA Nationals. So the Alabama State Championship. First one in probably 8 years. We're looking forward to it. Thank you all, and we'll see you in June.